Hi there. So, continue on from our last discussion. I don't know if this is your first time seeing me, or maybe you probably missed the last pondering, wandering of my mind. I want to remind you that we are like gold tried in the fire. Those who have chosen to work this path of righteousness are like gold tried in the fire, and once they come out, they become acceptable men and women, proven through the fire or the furnace of adversity. These ones which I want you to be are in essence those that believe in the Most High God and trust that in every situation that He would most certainly come through for them, for He will always be a help to those that trust Him. So it's important in the midst of all these adversities that you order your way right, make your path righteous, your actions and your deeds, and continue, irrespective of all, to trust in the Most High God. If you truly fear the Most High God, indeed, you would wait for His mercies, and you would never find an excuse or a trial to say, I wish to go aside. You will be aligned continually, because we know and we understand that should we waver, we will most certainly fall. And this is where the enemy wants us to be. So, to you that truly fear the Most High, believe in Him and trust and be assured that your reward will never fail. You that trust the Most High God, hope for good. Remember, faith is the evidence of things unseen and the substance of things hoped for. So I beckon you, I ask you, continue to hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy, for indeed they shall come. Look at the past generations of old times. Did anyone ever trust the Most High and was confounded or was left alone? Never. Hi there, golden. Yes, of course, you don't think you're golden? I'm here to explain what that is. You might be watching me and you might be in fact golden. Or maybe somewhere along the line you aspire to be golden. You've decided to make a turning in your life to the golden path. So, what does it mean to be gold? Like gold, before it sparkles and is desired, the gold we have come to know and appreciate, it has to be tried. Like gold, men and women who want to attain the highest degree of elevation in terms of spirituality in accordance to the righteousness of the Most High God must first of all prove themselves through adversity, that is, the furnace of adversity, trials precisely. These persons understand what it takes and what is required, and that element of requirements, the strongest is believing that the Most High will come through in all situations, trusting in the midst of circumstances, understanding that the Most High will help when He is most needed. He would come through at that point where he feels, or where one starts to feel that it is over. There isn't any solution, and that is in fact the best time where it would require that help. So I'm here to tell you to keep yourself aright on the right path, continually trusting in Him. If you truly fear the Most High, you will wait for His mercies. You will not waver, you will not step aside unless you would fall. And this is where the enemy wants you. If you fear the Most High indeed, you would believe Him, and your reward definitely will never fail. You that truly say in your heart that you fear God sincerely, this is how you exhibit it. You hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy, for it will come. You just need to exercise patience. Now, I want you to take a look at the generations in past times. Did anyone ever trust in the Most High God and was confounded? Did anyone abide and stay in His fear and was forsaken? Or whom did He ever despise that called upon Him? Who did He ever abandon that sought His face? Hi there. I know you probably don't know me, but I would like to beg your indulgence to invest yourselves in what I'm about to say, okay? I won't be long, I guarantee you, and I just want to impact into your lives, and hopefully some of what I have to say would have some relevance to you and maybe to someone you know. Now, I pride myself as a man who is striving continually to attain the standards completely, if I can ever do so, the standards of the Most High God. And one of those things I want to speak on today is the fact that the Most High has given us parents. He has indeed given us the Father, and His authority is to have the honor over His children. And like the Father, He would be incomplete without the mother. So has the Most High confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. And in this beautiful construct, and you as children, irrespective of your ages, you proceeded from somewhere. If these persons still exist, and peradventure there is something or issue not going so well, hear this today, that whoever honors his father makes an atonement for his sins. Life is not going so well, or something is so uneasy, some aspect of your life, maybe this might be the fix. Because when you obey your parent, it washes a multitude of sins. And when you do service to them, to be more precise. So, like the father, whomever honors his mother is like one that heaps and builds up treasures plentiful for himself. Whoever honors his father will definitely find joy in his own children. Now, if you want pleasantness in your family, especially from your offspring, do well to honor your father. So, in doing this, when you make a prayer, your prayer will definitely be heard. But on the contrary, when you pray and you disregard this standard, you waste your time. Hi there. This is probably the first time you might be seeing me, and that's a wild guess, of course, because our reach isn't that strong yet. And of course, at most, maybe second or third if I'm lucky. So today I just want to pick up from a topic I was speaking on the last time, which is more so centered around honoring your parents, both father and mother, okay? And I really want to speak on from there. So if you feel you would like to have the context of from where we started from and now pick it up from, you might want to revisit the previous videos that we've posted so far. Okay, so I beg that you take the time to really lend me your ears attentively as I discuss, because this might bear some relevance, as I said previously, to some area of your life, and if not you, maybe someone you know. So I was speaking on honoring parents, and I want to move on from there. So I want to say, in addition to that, is that he who honors his father, okay, shall definitely find long life. If you're looking to prolong your life in spiritual accordance to the standards of God, definitely this is one of the things you want to get on your check boxes. So, he that is obedient to the Most High God shall definitely be a comfort to his mother. And this is why, parents, it is important for you right from the infancy of your children to tow them via the direction of the standards and the teachings of God. that builds the righteous spiritual conscience in them to have a fear for the Most High, and then would force them righteously to do their duties if indeed they seek eternal life. So, moving on. Whoever fears the Most High will definitely honor his father and will do service to his parents like they are his masters or her masters. So, honor your father and mother, both in word, what you say, and in action, what you do in response to what you have said. And if you do so, a blessing most certainly will come upon you from them. And you want to beware of a curse. Now, there's more to be said on this subject, but I will stop it here. Hi there, I trust you are well. I'm pretty well myself. Just recently recovered from an ailment, but that's not why I'm here. So, the work must go on, and I'm here to continue on the subject I spoke about not too long ago. Okay, and I was speaking about more so honoring parents, and this should be my third take on that subject because it's really close to my heart, because I feel we're in a time where that seems to be, or that standard, or that law seems to be shattering severely. So, just moving forward, I did last speak about the importance of honoring parents, your father and mother, so that a blessing can come onto you from them. Because you have to know that the blessing of the father establishes the houses of children. But wait, what happens if the mother curses you? And why am I saying this is because you cannot honor one and disregard the other. You have to honor them both. This is the standard of God. So, now, the curse of the mother has the ability to root out foundation. So, what has already been built, if you do not regard your mother, she can root out foundation with a curse. So, if you want your foundation to be strong, do well to regard the both of them. So, do never you take glory in the dishonoring of thy father, because in reality, you are your father. When you dishonor your father, it is not a glory to you, it is also a dishonor to you, because people will look at him, and that is the same man you, God forbid, you take your mouth to say stupid. That is the man that gave birth to you, and he is stupid. And if he is stupid, it means also you yourself are stupid, respectfully. So, be mindful what you say, because such an utterance is a reflection on you. So, you only want to utter positivity. And again, such proclamations actually affect your life in a positive light. So, do not take glory in the dishonoring of thy father, because the glory of a man is from the honor of his father, and the mother in dishonor, also like the father, is a reproach and a shame to the children. So be mindful. Hi there. Today I want to move on with a topic that has seemed to find itself stretching many takes. So I want to talk about the same topic of honoring parents. And I want to speak more so at this point. I might move on to other things within the subject. I want to talk about age. So, if you're listening to me, man, woman, help your father in his age. When he starts to lean forward, or probably use a cane, or is slow, or so dependent that he needs a second hand, do not forsake him. Do not leave him to himself. Do not grieve him. Do not provoke him. Do not annoy him. Do not frustrate him. As long as he lives, you should take care of him as he took care of you when you were helpless, like a baby. It seems there is this concept of recompensing. We grow old to become babies again, we start life from infancy. So, we have a responsibility. It's a form of repaying what has been done. A duty, a divine duty accorded to us by the Most High. So, do not forsake your father as long as he lives. So, now, if the understanding of your father or your mother in age fails them, maybe they are not able to grasp things as they did in past times, or are too slow to respond or understand what you're saying, or are hard of hearing, this is not the time to be frustrated. When you were a kid, they took the time to listen to your needs, even when you were not making any sense. Google Gaga? Anyone? Do you remember? It takes patience to respond to that, to understand that it takes love. You owe them that duty. So, if their understanding fails, have patience with them. Do not despise them because they're not witty enough as they did, because obviously the mind, everything starts to fade away. The organs, everything starts to slow down. The brain also. And some have early onset of dementia. So have that in mind, understanding you too shall grow old. And do not hate them for that, for it is not their fault, it's just the way of things. Sadly. And should I say sadly? No, I wouldn't say sadly, because that's the way it has been made. So, when you're in your full strength, be there for them. Hi there. So, I'm still moving on. Probably this is my 6th take on the same subject of honoring parents. I can't remember, maybe the 5th or the 6th, okay? But whatever the case may be, it's a new take. And I left off from speaking on offsprings, children, irrespective of how old you are right now. You're a child to a parent, okay? So, you definitely want to help them out and be patient with them in old age when they are probably having hardness of hearing, or maybe are not as witty as they were before, because everything slows down. So have patience with them in their old age. So, because when you relieve their stress, or when you ease their needs, or when you respond precisely to their needs, right, it will not be forgotten by the Most High. And in the instances where you have erred somewhere or transgressed the commandment, this will be remembered, and your sins will be forgiven. Much of your sins will be removed from you for this deed you have done. So, and this will build you up in return. So, it is important, and it comes with benefit. And don't forget, if I'm not mistaken, this is among the 10 commandments. This is the commandment with a promise of long life, longevity. So, if you do this, the day you might find yourself in affliction, it will be remembered, and your sins will melt away just like ice in warm weather. So remember, don't forget what they did for you, and do the same and much more for them as a great thank you. Because the one that forsakes his father in the Most High's eyes is a blasphemer. You cannot say you love and worship the Most High and serve him, and you abandon your father or your mother. And he that angers his mother is cursed of God. So, if you are doing things that are constantly causing your mother to grieve or your father, you want to be mindful, because minus your sins being withheld, you have an additional curse upon your head, and God forbid she curse you also, or he curses you. Hi there. I'm sure you might be wondering who this fella is, and of course I know I'll probably have the same question at this very moment in time, and just before you swipe it, which I really don't want you to, I really want you to please lend me your ears. What I have to say is not a waste of time. I'm not just a random content creator that just creates things for fun. I'm here with substantial information and substantial addition to humanity that I feel would be greatly needed to create a world that will actually give birth to a better place for us all. So today, I'm here to speak on something which I've titled the bigger brother of humility, and which is meekness. I'm here to speak to the pride that exists in the world today, and I'm here to kind of reason with you, and if I'm lucky, you might be someone that might tie into the idea of really intentionally buying into the concept of practicing conscious and in-depth humility, which gives birth to meekness towards your brother, your sister, your neighbor, your friends, and your family. Now, I want you to think, if we all submit ourselves to one another in humility and in the highest standard of humility, which is meekness, imagine what a world that would be. Imagine if I am so humble, so careful, so thoughtful, and so ready to ask for apology where I err. Imagine what a world that would be if I'm able to, you as the listener, pull you into this consciousness of intentionality in this regard, and then you also pull the next man, and somehow this video gets across so many people who are ready or who are touched by this motion to actually steer themselves towards this path of conscious humility and intense humility, which is the subject of meekness, which I ascribe the bigger brother of humility. Now, I want to talk to you about elevation. Everyone in life seeks to grow. As a channel, as a content creator myself, I seek to grow, and what comes with that is the temptation of pride. And I'm here to tell you that in that consciousness and intentionality I'm trying to preach to you today, I want you to heighten that as you chase success or growth, or as the Most High blesses you with growth and success. So as you elevate in all, I want you to remember that the greater you are, the more humble you should become. This is good for us all. And of course, it will serve as a teaching moment for those who are ready to learn, or for those who see you as an example. Hi there. I know that I might probably be new on your screen, and I'm just hoping that you will be so kind and gracious to lend me your ears. I want to speak on a matter I spoke on earlier, and just really want to brush up on some of the things I felt that I omitted, and I would like to add and supplement to what I said. I did speak on humility the last time, and I also spoke on how meekness is the bigger brother of humility, and I just want to really touch up some of the parts on the teachings in my mind that I wanted to really fleshing out within that topic itself. So I want to talk to you as a human. I want to really touch your conscience, and I want you to practice humility to the next man. And of course, this doesn't come without reward, because the Most High tells you that the meek shall inherit the earth. And now, sometimes when I speak about righteousness and also things that concern the Most High, I feel guilty, especially when I fall. Recently, I have fallen, and I do not want to come to your screen as a hypocrite, but I feel so much guilt teaching this right now. But at the same time, in my conscience, I am asking for forgiveness, because I do not feel worthy enough, because I just recently fell to sin. But in any case, I still must do the work, because he that puts his hand upon the plow and looks back isn't fit for service. So I'm here to serve, and irrespective of my shortcomings, the work must go on. So please, my brothers, my sisters, friends from an extended area, nationalities, if you hear me in this language which I'm using to communicate, I would like that you take a moment to really say to yourself, today I want to be meek, I want to be humble to my brother, I want to be conscious towards the way I speak to the next man and the next woman. So remember, the greater you become, the more humble you should be. And when you do this, indeed, I guarantee you that you would find favor from the Most High. And in all of this practice of meekness and great humility with great intentionality, you will find that the Most High would approve of you as one who is righteous and one who he can ascribe the title his son or his daughter. So, you must realize that the Most High is great, and he is only honored by those sincerely who are ready to submit themselves, because the greater you are, the more of a servant you become to the people you are above. So, humble yourself and God will reward you. Hi there, I trust you're doing well. This might probably be your first time seeing me on your screen, and if it is, as the French would say, enchanté. Pleased to meet you. Okay, so today, unfortunately, I would say rather fortunately maybe for me, because if it's something you agree with or you can reason with, then it will make for a good discussion. I mean, I would say more precisely a monologue, and hopefully you can share your thoughts with me in the comment section. I want to speak about a topic of man's curiosity and how it affects us generally, and how such curiosities can in fact be a detriment to man. It seems that we tend to want to seek out things that are basically too hard for us to understand, instead of just focusing on what has been placed before us by the Creator plainly in our sight, many of which we are unable to decipher or begin to comprehend, even that which has been placed before us. But we seem to always want to go deeper, don't you think? We seem to want to go to places that seem to be intently concealed by the Creator, in hopes to discover something mysterious or something that would in fact empower us to be, in some sickly minds, stronger or greater than the Creator, or be the Creator himself. God forbid we have such imaginations. So I want to really speak about these curiosities and how we tend to search out things that are beyond our strength. And this often concerns the topic of witchcraft and, of course, science. And science has its positives, but when we go into the depths of things, we see that this is in fact rooted in Satanism, and it has its objectives. Now, this is a very deep topic, and I wouldn't want to dabble any further, but this is just my point on that. Of course, there's understanding behind that which I have, but for the sake of keeping this topic light, I would like to more so focus on the subject at hand. So it is important, I think, that what has been commanded to us, or what has been placed before us to do, that is what we should really focus on. Our minds should be hinged on that which has been prescribed. And where is this prescription? The Bible. Many of you might not like that, but this is a book that has proven itself through time and through prophecy, and even in the understanding and the workings of things. So it is, to my conviction, uncontestable. So I'm here to tell you to leave the unnecessary things alone, the things that do not concern us, that are deep and that might in fact destroy us. Hi there, I hope you're doing good, and I want to pick up from where I stopped previously. I was speaking on man's curiosity and how such curiosities might be in fact a danger to him. And I also spoke about the two categories of persons or practices that fall within this curiosity that might be an endangerment to the whole of mankind, and they are grouped into two. So we have the scientists and we have those who practice witchcraft, and these are areas that we do not want to find ourselves dabbling so deep. And of course, witchcraft is evidently a no-no if you're in the work of righteousness. For science, it has its positives, and we can more so even deal and interact scientifically with things that have been placed in the surface. That is, the things that we see readily before us, not the things that have been evidently concealed with intent. So we tend to want to see what is in the secret. We tend to want to investigate and look onto unnecessary things that do not add to us in any shape or form. we, out of curiosity or out of the search for power or lust for desires and dark practices or things that are beyond us, we tend to want to make researches in these directions. This is a dangerous act, and I'm here to speak to humanity to really desist from that. The Creator who has made us has given us an ideal path. He has placed before us what He wants us to see, not the things that have been concealed. So, and above all, if you read in the scriptures, you will find that the Most High tells us that the whole duty of man is that we serve Him and nothing more. And you might find many people might seem in their deceived minds think to describe this manner of thinking or mindset as a mindset that isn't intelligent enough to want to know. And sometimes, many times, people have died knowing or trying or wanting to know. So, in this, we have many deductions, scientists coming up with one hypothesis or the other, or as a matter of fact, coming up with a fact which another scientist comes up with another fact, because you must understand that the ways of the Most High are unsearchable, and the things which He has hidden will remain hid until the time of the revelation has arrived. So I am here to tell you, the unnecessary matters, the things that have been evidently concealed, are things that we should remove our suspicions or deductions from and stay far from. This is my bit for today. Hi there, I trust you're doing well. Of course, I'm here to speak to you again, and of course, if this is your first time seeing me, nice to meet you. I'm a bit tense today because I was just speaking on a topic, and for some reason I wasn't able to conclude the topic. So I want to take the topic again, and it's something I'm really passionate about, and I want to talk about the stubborn curiosity of man. I had spoken earlier on the curiosity of man, why man tries to endlessly dabble into things, into the unknown, into things that have been evidently concealed by a supreme being, and the foolishness of man to contest the existence of a supreme being, irrespective of the evidences that are around us. The finite forms, the defined structures, the complexity of design, both in all aspects and species of life. How do we, in our so-called enlightened minds and advanced thinking, refute what evidently has been brought about by a designer, a great designer? Isn't that foolishness, or would I say, because I wouldn't say foolishness, because I don't think in honesty that we do not know that there is a creator. I think there is a spirit of defiance that lays or that lies within us. For those of us who defy the divinity, the presence, the supreme power, and the creative imaginations and the dexterity and the intelligence of the Most High. How dare you? How dare you fathom that there isn't a creator? And now, why do I speak about these things? I speak about these things because even us as creations, we are intelligent enough to say, okay, we want to decide to keep certain things secret or concealed. Why? Because we understand the power or the danger or the importance that thing holds. And so we keep it in the most secured location. And with now, in this present time with technology, we have many forms of security that would deter any attempt of accessing that location. Don't you think that the Most High Himself would have created several things that have an intent for a later time or for a purpose that should not be accessed by any other creation? Don't you think so? And hence He has kept this thing concealed. But the stubborn curiosity of man seems to want to venture via dark arts or so-called sciences in an attempt to know what has been hidden, or in an attempt to have power. Now, that will lead to your definite destruction, man. Hi there, I trust you're doing well, and today I have an urge to rush into the topic, but of course, I have to give you all deserved salutations. I trust you're great. I was speaking on a subject on man's curiosity, and this will be my third take on this subject because I feel there's some things, like many other topics I discussed, that I would like to brush up on. And I would like to say that, in summary, in case you missed the previous two discussions, I would say monologue to be more precise. Man should really stray away from curiosities, whether via the pathway of witchcraft or the pathway of science, which I think today is maxed satanism and witchcraft. Because the type of things we dabble into, we seem to be investigating or playing God in some way. Because we try to recreate life. We try to create synthetic options for things that are just, at some point, one would say, abominable, unimaginable. How dare you? So, but in today's world, we find that many people tend to make excuses for this kind of things. And I feel that we have been deceived by our own vain opinions. And I call them opinions because the Most High, who has concealed all of this, would leave you guessing. You can never search out his ways. You can never understand the things which he has left concealed. Only he has the seal to the sealed, if that makes any sense. So, the seal that opens up all things will be in his hands and will remain in his hands. So, I'm here to implore you, scientists or people who seem to have soiled their hands in dark arts and having spirits deceive them, having entities toy with their minds into going or investigating into things that would in fact bring about their definite destruction. You should cease and desist from such actions before it is too late, before the judgment of God falls upon you. The Most High tells us that we have one duty, one sole duty, and that is to serve him and everything that has been prescribed in this book. Now, what book or what God? There is only one true God who has proven himself through time, and his book is a very popular one, which many entities try to undermine. But for some reason, through the years and through time, it has stood strong, and that is the Bible. Hi there, I trust you're doing well. Today I want to talk about the issue of stubbornness, especially when it comes to the correction of doing right. And of course, since that I'm a striving, spiritual, righteous man, I don't like to say spiritual because that can easily get confounded with some of the voodoo, dark arts, and the wicked practices out there. So I like to stick with righteous. I'm striving, but I will tell you in all honesty, not where I want to be. I'm sometimes ashamed of myself and disappointed why I let the enemy sometimes to infiltrate my mind and allow me to do things that are disgraceful. And I really feel like a hypocrite coming before you right now. But in any case, I feel I have to. In any case, I feel I need to talk about this because this journey to righteousness, it's not an easy one. It is easy, theoretically speaking, but when it comes to the advances and the insistence of the enemy in your mind, you find yourself being swayed, even the things you understand, and even to disciplines that you have built. You just find yourself breaking them, and you are amazed at how you have been managed to be convinced by the enemy. So it is very disappointing, and I must say that I am very ashamed. And it was a struggle to come before you today to look you in the eye and to advocate for things that are right, because in reality, how can I be an advocate when I am not fully advocated within myself? I am so embarrassed, and I came here to share my shame and of this embarrassment I feel, because I refuse to be a hypocrite, but I also refuse to not advance the work. Many times I pray and I think I even get the answers, but for some reason, the stupidity in me that lies within me still allows me to fall to the very sin I say, and I refuse to fall. But as Paul would say, the spirit is willing, but the body is constantly at war with the spirit. Today I came up here to say something totally different, but I felt the need to confess my foolishness and my hypocrisy. Hi there, I trust you're doing well, and I hope this meets you well. A few days ago, I was fired up in righteousness, and today I just did a video prior to this one confessing my seeming hypocrisy, because I don't know why I fall to the same things that I say I wouldn't. But since there's a purpose in my heart to advance the work, not intending to be a hypocrite, that's why I'm putting myself out there to an open shame of my disgrace and foolishness, hoping that I will be able to restore that confidence that I once felt. I am so ashamed of myself, but since I have purposed my heart to do this work, I will talk about what I came here to speak about today. I wanted to talk about stubbornness, and it just so happens I've been meaning to talk about this subject, and it so happens that I have, in some way, connected to the unrepentant nature of stubbornness, because I have, in myself, been a fool, and I've acted foolishly in going back to sin, and I am ashamed of myself. But anyways, I want to speak to you about stubbornness, and in all regards, and stubbornness in terms of daily dealings and on the superficial plane of physical life, and stubbornness when it comes to the righteousness in spirituality. And I'm very mindful with that word spirituality, but anyways, I'm more speaking about the righteousness that comes with the obedience to scriptures. So I want to talk to you stubborn-minded, that refuse to go in the right way, or that refuse to accept correction. Because the thing about stubbornness, and I'm very careful about this notion, because stubbornness can be good, but if it's advancing in the wrong direction, and all the evidence is presented, and still this soul or this being that is being corrected is not listening, then I'm afraid that you would fall into evil at last. And if you're the type that advances in life dangerously, doing things that will put your life at risk, or put you in danger, or seem a detriment to you, and still refuse to accept correction, I'm afraid that that danger which you so dangerously indulge in would be the danger that takes you away. And of course, on the subject of righteousness, O ye that are stubborn in not keeping the laws of God, myself inclusive, I fear that I might be someday fall into the same judgment I speak against.